Well, ahoy Cruise Nerds. Welcome back to my channel, DCL Cruise Nerd. So today I got some breaking cruise news for you guys today. And Disney Cruise Line has finally released summer 2024 itineraries. So let's go ahead and dive right on in. Alright Cruise Nerds, so before I begin in the itineraries for summer 2024, just want to mention I am going to be getting on the Disney Magic today down in New Orleans. So I will be posting some videos, some pictures, maybe some TikToks. So just a heads up there. But I just wanted to come to you first with the itinerary release for summer. Okay. The Disney Wish. She is doing her 3 and 4 night sailings as usual from Port Canaveral, going to Nassau and Castaway Cay, as well as a day at sea on most of your 4 night sailings. Now that will be happening from June 3rd, roughly June 3rd, all the way to September 30th. So from June to September, these are the itineraries that we have that Disney Cruise Line has just announced. So not much has changed there. I'm not going to go over that because we all know the traditional Nassau, Castaway Cay, and some days at sea, depending on if you're on a 4 night or a 3 night. Now, for the Disney Wonder, she is going to be doing her normal Alaskan season during the summer of 2024. So she will be in Vancouver doing these Alaskan sailings. So she will be doing 7-night Alaskan sailing to the Glacier Viewing, Icy Strait Point, Juneau, Ketchikan, and Skagway. So those are her traditional 7-night sailings. And then she does have a 9-night Alaskan cruise, which is Ketchikan, Glacier Viewing, Juneau, Icy Strait Point, Sitka, and Victoria, British Columbia. So that's the 9-night. And then there's a 5-night. It's just a repositioning to get back into the usual 7-night sailings. And that's just 2 days at sea, Ketchikan, and a glacier viewing. So not much to talk about when it comes to Alaska season either. So now this is where we get a little bit more in detail with the Disney Dream, Disney Magic, and the Disney Fantasy. So let's go ahead and dive right on in to the Disney Magic. May 4th is actually when the Disney Magic will make her way to Fort Lauderdale. May 4th. That is her repositioning cruise from San Juan, Puerto Rico to Fort Lauderdale. And she's just going to St. Thomas, Nassau, and Castaway Cay. Now, she will be doing some 4 and 5 night sailings, as well as some 3 night sailings as well. In the beginning, in the month of May, for the 3 night sailings, she'll be doing Nassau and Castaway Cay. So that's for the month of May. Now, she'll also be doing the month of June, as well as May, doing some Bahamian cruises to like Nassau and Castaway Cay. But the 5-night cruises are going to be to the Western Caribbean, which is going to have Cozumel, a day at sea, and possibly a day at Castaway Cay. For the first 5 nights, or at least one of the 5 nights, you'll start at Castaway Cay, day at sea, Cozumel, day at sea, then back to Fort Lauderdale. And then there's one that's like at sea, Cozumel, at sea, Castaway Cay. So it just depends on how you want to enjoy your vacation. So definitely take a look at it. So 4-night and 3-night Bahamian sailings. And then let's see. Now, Lighthouse Point. There are 2 ships that will be going to Lighthouse Point. One of them is the Disney Magic, which I'll mention to you. She will not be going there until August, well, actually July, by the looks of it. June, at the end of June into July, because the inaugural sailing of Lighthouse Point is going to be on the Disney Fantasy, which I'll get to in a minute. Now, she does have some 5-night Western Caribbean cruises in the month of June, as well as July. It's just going to Cozumel and Castaway Cay with a few days at sea. Or it could start at Castaway Cay and end in Nassau, coming back to Fort Lauderdale. So definitely look closely before you book, because I know some cruises can definitely look confusing on which date and whatnot. For the Disney Magic, like I said, she will be going to Lighthouse Point, and she'll be doing that in June. and also July, and it looks like a few cruises in September and also August. So, and those are going to be the 5-night Bohemian sailings that will go to Lighthouse Point, Castaway Cay, Nassau, Bahamas. And there will also be a day at sea. And then it looks like there's a few 4-night sailings that will be Lighthouse Point, Nassau, and day at sea, then back to Fort Lauderdale. I am so sorry, Christmas. I'm so used to just having one private island. So, if you see me correct myself, it's just because, once again, so used to having one private island. Now, that's going to be Bohemian and Western Caribbeans for the most part from Fort Lauderdale for the Disney Magic. The only new thing, Fort Lauderdale is not new. We're starting that this year. But the only thing new about this itinerary release for the Disney Magic is Lighthouse Point. Okay? And that's basically, if just think about doing the Bohemian cruise on the Disney Wish, just on the Disney Magic with Lighthouse Point. And like I mentioned, I will post the picture of all the itineraries once that is made. Let's get to the Disney Fantasy, because the Disney Fantasy is the last ship on this side of the continent before in Florida before we go over to Europe. Now, she'll have her typical 7-night Eastern and Western Caribbean sailings to Cozumel, to Jamaica, to Grand Cayman, St. Thomas, and then also Tortola, and Disney's private island of Castaway Cay. So those 7-night sailings are the same. So nothing much has changed at that extent. Now, there's going to be a 5-night Bohemian cruise from Port Canaveral and a 6-night Western Caribbean cruise from Port Canaveral. Now, I'll get to both of these. Now, the 6-night Western Caribbean cruise from Port Canaveral, it's basically just 1 day shortened of a 7-night Western Caribbean. So you're going to have Cozumel, Grand Cayman, 2 days at sea, Castaway Cay, and back to Port Canaveral. So you are skipping out on Jamaica. The 5-night cruise, that is going to have 2 stops at Disney's private island of Castaway Cay. Now that is going to be Port Canaveral, Nassau, then the 2 days at Castaway Cay, right in a row, day at sea, and then back to Port Canaveral. So those are the 2 shortest cruises of the cruises on the Disney Fantasy for next summer, per this list. Now, there is a 7-night, another 7-night. However, this is the inaugural sailing to Lighthouse Point. And you're going to have 2 stops at Lighthouse Point. Okay, so you're going to have Port Canaveral, a day at sea, and then you're going to have Lighthouse Point, then Nassau, then Castaway Cay, and then back to Lighthouse Point, then one last day at sea before you head to Port Canaveral. So, and this particular itinerary is going to be on June 8th. That's the inaugural sailing. I am sure, more than likely, now I'm just speculating, that one will go out quick, so definitely think about that for your family. Now, the other cruise that is going to be on the Disney Fantasy is a 10-night Southern Caribbean cruise from Port Canaveral. Now, this one is 2 days at sea, and then Antigua, St. Lucia, Dominica, Tortola, a day at sea, then Lighthouse Point, and then you're going to visit Castaway Cay before heading back to Port Canaveral. And that one is going to be on July 25th next year. So, that's going to be a nice, those are going to be some nice cruises. So, all in all, the Disney Magic and Disney Fantasy are going to be the 2 ships that will be going to Lighthouse Point next summer during the summer seasons. Alright, cruise nerds, so let's get to our last ship, and that's going to be the Disney Dream. Now, the Disney Dream, she is going to Europe from Fort Lauderdale on a 13-night transatlantic eastbound sailing. And she's actually going to visit one of the new ports of call on this particular transatlantic, and that is going to be Valencia, Spain. But in Valencia, Spain, we're going to visit one more time in Europe on a 7-night sailing. And then the other 2 ports of call that the Disney Dream will be visiting is going to be Haugesund, Norway, and then Hamburg, Germany. So those are the 3 new ports of call the Disney Dream will be visiting. The other one is going to be Lighthouse Point, but that is going to be on the Disney Magic and Disney Fantasy, which I just talked to you guys about. So those are the new ports of call. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right on to the Disney Dream. Now, like I said, the Disney Dream, she is going to be doing a transatlantic crossing that's going to be taking place on May 5th from Fort Lauderdale. And that particular one will have the usual 6 nights at sea, Ponta Delgada, day at sea, Lisbon, and then Cadiz, Cartagena, Spain, then Valencia, Spain. So that's the new port of call, Valencia, Spain. And then she will arrive in Barcelona. And beginning in Barcelona, she will do a Greek Isles cruise. And that is ending in Civitavecchia. Yes, Civitavecchia. That is a mouthful, but it is Rome. And that is, of course, Messina, and then Santorini, Kousadasi, Piraeus, Naples, and then ending in Civitavecchia. So that's one of them. And then there's also 2 7-night Mediterranean cruises with the Greek Isles, and from Civitavecchia. And, of course, Mykonos, Santorini, Piraeus, those particular ports of call that we know and love in Greece. Now, there will be one last Greek Isles cruise, and this is an 11-night, starting in Civitavecchia, ending in Barcelona. So we're going back to Barcelona at the end of June, and that is going to Chania, Piraeus, Kousadasi, Mykonos, Valletta, Catania. I know I am butchering these beautiful names. And then, of course, Naples. And then back to Barcelona. So, those are the Greek Isles. So, not much has changed there. And, of course, we'll do some more cruises that are Mediterranean from Barcelona. And those, of course, will be visiting our known places like Naples, Civitavecchia, Villafranche, Livorno, Cannes, and then Villafranche, those ports of calls that we know and love from Barcelona. Now, we will be going actually to Southampton mid-June. So June 17th is when we repositioning to Southampton, and we'll be going, and this is where we'll visit Valencia again, which is going to be on June 17th. And of course, Lisbon, La Coruña, Vigo, La Rochelle, those ports of calls from Southampton. And then, of course, we're going to be revisiting Stavanger. I cannot pronounce the proper name of it. It's just like Civitavecchia. It's so hard to pronounce, but it is a beautiful name. But it does translate to Stavanger, so to speak. And of course, we have 12-night Norwegian Fjords and Iceland cruise from Southampton, where we visit Stavanger, Reykjavik. I'm butchering the name. I apologize. It's Iceland, Reykjavik. So we're doing an overnight there. And then the one cruise that we're doing August 5th, that's going to be visiting Haugesund, which is over in Norway. So that's a 7-night Norwegian Fjords cruise from Southampton. So that's that particular cruise. And we got some 3 and 4 night sailings from Southampton. That's going to Belgium. It's going to Spain, Bilbao, Spain, La Coruña, Spain, the whole 9 yards. Now we're doing some British Isles cruises, which looks like that's going to be on September 8th. And we're going to Greenock, Liverpool, Cork, Portland, and then the 7-night Western Europe cruise from Southampton. This is going to have Hamburg, and it looks like that one is going to be an overnight by the looks of it. And this is going to be on September 1st, and we're going to also visit Rotterdam. So, but yeah. So 3 and 4 night sailings, and then 5 night sailings to Spain, and then 7 night sailings that will go to Hamburg, and also Rotterdam, which is a returning port of call. And then we got the British Isles cruise that we know and love. So not much has changed there except 3 new ports of call on certain sailings. So that's why I was going over it pretty quickly. So not too much, and briefly too. So not much here. But Cruise Nerds, like I mentioned, I will be, once whoever the creator is, I do want to make sure that I let y'all know I'm not the creator of this particular the posting of the itineraries. I just share it just so everybody who is a cruise nerd knows what these itineraries are. Once that is out, I'll definitely share it. So today is Thursday the 23rd, so of course they traditionally announce the itineraries on a Thursday. So next Monday, that means on Monday, March 27th, that means Platinum Castaway Club members, Golden Oak, and also WDW Club 33 can start booking on Monday the 27th. And then on day 2, which is Tuesday the 28th, that is going to be the Gold Castaway Club members that can start booking. Then on Wednesday, March 29th, that is going to be for Silver Castaway Club members, Disney Vacation Club members, and ABD Insiders. Now, if you don't know what ABD is, that's Adventures by Disney Insiders. Now, so Thursday, which is going to be the 30th, that's the general public. So that's for all of the new cruisers. Now, you're probably thinking, Megan, you're forgetting about Pearl. No, I am not. Pearl is not booking this particular itinerary release. Remember, Pearl Castaway Club benefits does not start until May 1st. So, Pearl Castaway Club members, 25 cruises and above, you will have to do it during the Platinum Castaway Club status this round. And then starting May 1st and beyond, whenever they do itinerary release, that's when they'll do the Pearl first. Okay? So yeah, so next Monday, which is going to be the 27th, that is when Platinum can start booking. Yeah, because we've been so busy getting ready for this cruise that we are boarding on today out of New Orleans. So you'll see those vlogs coming up soon. But just a heads up, once again, if you are wanting to book any of these itineraries, definitely double check to see what Castaway Club membership you are. Now, if you are a Disney Vacation Club member and you are wanting to use points, please make sure you call Disney Vacation Club Member Services. If you're an Adventures by Disney Insider, make sure you call Adventures by Disney. If you are a Golden Oak resident, make sure you talk to whoever you might need to talk to for Golden Oak residents. And then, yes, and then the Castaway Club members, you know where you need to go to start booking. You can start booking on the website. I believe starting about 8 a.m., maybe a little earlier. But 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when the phone lines open. And they will be there until 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely plan accordingly. Or you can book online, like I mentioned. So anyways, Cruise Nerds, thank you for joining me on this particular Breaking Cruise Nerds for Breaking Cruise News for itinerary release this go around. I hope everyone has a great day, and I will see y'all real soon on the Disney Magic.